You've been looking for a podcast that connects commercial general contractors, public sectors, commercial property managers, and small business owners looking to share motivation, inspiration, project updates, tips, wins, and ways to conquer life in the commercial asphalt paving industry. Look no more, my friend. Live from Northern California. Broadcasting around the world. This is the Paving the Way podcast. And now your hosts, Jonathan J.B. Brown and Patrick Mullen.
We're not in more trouble with... Oh, we're recording. So episode 35. Welcome to Paving the Way. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about technology in commercial paving.
Artificial intelligence.
Which all of you guys are experts on, especially Professor Seth Maxey over here.
Yeah.
Who has a lot of professional experience with technology.
As I said in an earlier episode, shoot from the hip.
He taught me a lot.
We have a lot of people come in and they're like, wow, your office is so technologically advanced with all your computers and your typing. No.
We can scan.
That's my typer.
So today we're actually going to I wanted to kind of go over technology in paving, and really in our world is getting crazy, and the advances are leaps and bounds. So these advances are coming in our industry also. So we thought we would have a conversation kind of about what this technology is.
I'm telling you guys right now, okay, within 10 years, rollers are going to take over the world.
Oh, like asphalt rollers?
Asphalt rollers.
Steam rollers? I think that's actually a good one to start with. So, really, and there's tons of things that technology takes over with. Really, even from the beginning when we start bidding a job. We're using technology now to bid a job. I remember back when Seth was first growing up in the asphalt world. He was, you have to go out and measure every single job, right? That was my whippersnapper. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even on the camera, so it's kind of
many moons ago.
Yeah. Seth's way older than me, so let's just get that out there. Year older. Yeah. So you had to go out and actually measure jobs, every single job, right?
Yep.
And now
Google Earth is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's one of our biggest technologies right now. I love Google.
Google Earth doesn't help when it comes to measuring small size patches and stuff, but doing parking lot overlays or
trees always get in, so you don't know where the planters are. It gives you a rough idea. If you're bidding a job, it gives you a good layout of what the area looks like. I wouldn't trust Google Earth doing a takeoff on a parking lot because, like I said, you don't know where the exact planters are and trees and overhangs and all that other good stuff. So, but Google Earth is.
But it's leaps and bounds better than having to go out and physically measure every single job.
And we've literally gone on Google Earth and seen our guys working on Google Earth at corners that we've done work. So it is pretty crazy what you can get. It just shows how current those pictures can be. But it's amazing being able to see, from your office, you can see what a job site looks like, what it looked like. We've actually even used it for when people have said oh, that didn't look like that when we started, and we pull it up on Google Earth and be like, it's all dated. And we tell you exactly what it looked like at this date.
I just learned last week, I think, from Chief Technology Officer Seth that you can go into Google and actually block your house from being on Google Earth.
Yes.
And block your license plates. If you happen to be outside when they were driving by, you can block your face. I didn't know you could do that. It's really easy.
Yeah. You can actually also measure on Google Earth, right? We use a takeoff program to do measuring, but you can actually measure on Google Earth too. There's it's pretty crazy. I feel like I'm preaching what everybody's already using. It's like saying, hey, check out Amazon. This great new company that delivers stuff to your home.
What?
Yeah.
Since when?
To your home. Today. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I got a meat thermometer delivered the same day.
What?
Yes.
Did you put it in cider?
Because
98.6.
That's rare.
That was supposed to be a barbecue plug, and he just ruined it. Made it bad. Whatever, though. So moving on from the estimating side till you kind of get out into the field with commercial paving and asphalt, there's a lot of technology that comes out there. I think the first one that comes to mind is Topcon. Topcon.
Yep. That is a system that goes onto the paver and uses lasers and some artificial intelligence. I'm sure they're getting smarter and smarter every day with it. But it basically sets your grades for you almost, where you tell it how thick you want the paving to come out after compaction. I believe it sets the machine's height for you automatically. It can sense curb and gutter on one side, and pretty much
You can use TopCon locating services. It runs off GPS. It runs on all grading equipment. You put in elevations, you put in surrounding sounds. You take the time and you use it the way it's supposed to be used. It's very, very beneficial. It holds your grade steady.
I forgot about the earthwork portion of that.
Portions, you can put them on motor graders.
You can set the plans into the system and drive a bulldozer around, and it will adjust the blade up and down and cut the grades to using GPS to the specific heights that are in the plans, which is pretty damn amazing.
Bulldozer?
Bulldog?
Bulldog.
A bulldog.
You can get them with steamrollers.
Yeah. So we've run what we have ran, and what we're running is the sonar system. That's as close as we've kind of got to the GPS world, and just
what's the difference between sonar and GPS?
Sonar is more the one I was talking about, I think, where it's using lasers or sound.
Bouncing it off the ground back to get you
adjust your heights.
Exactly.
So it just keeps everything the right thickness and keeps it even rather than just following the ground.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the ground's not perfect, especially you're matching up against this existing asphalt or an old curb and gutter.
Mm-hmm.
You can't guarantee that's going to be a smooth run. So you want to keep that smooth and
but
flat.
You also
so
got to make sure, because the technology, it's only as smart as it can be. And what it can't do is, if there happens to be a pile of rock in the curb and gutter and it sees it'll pick it up and make you pave a thick section in a small area. So there's things you got to watch out for, and you really got to pay attention when you're using it, making sure you're using it correctly. But it can definitely help.
All right. So that's and that goes on your paver to help put down the mix. Because when you're paving, there's a lot of steps that are involved. Obviously, the first step would be after prep would be using the paver to actually place the asphalt, and that's how you get your depth. The most important part of paving and putting down asphalt is going to probably be your compaction, right? And I think right before this, Pat, you were talking about technology you've seen with rollers.
Yeah. Some of the newer rollers, actually, they have, I don't know if it's GPS or whatnot built into it. We haven't used them yet, but they will track you as you're going back and forth over the mat and let you know how many times you've passed and what your relative compaction is in those areas. Because overcompaction is actually an issue too. It breaks the rocks down and it'll make your asphalt degrade faster. So that's why Caltrans doesn't say they want 100% compaction, because you're fracturing rocks before you get to 100% compaction. They actually deduct money from you if you go over, I think it's 96 or 97%.
I believe it's 97.
Yeah. Then they start taking money away from you because you over compacted the material.
Is that because you're using too much mix, or because they think it won't last as long?
No, you're fracturing the rocks inside the mix, so it falls apart sooner. And
you're creating more voids when you crack the rock.
Yeah.
Gives the asphalt more area to fail.
Yeah.
All right.
And while we're compacting, JB had brought up while we're running the rollers, we have a cool kind of machine that we have that JB kind of brought up that we should incorporate that with this.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let him kind of run with that, or I'll put Seth on it. That's Seth's baby.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Talking about your
Transtech.
The compaction machine. It's a non-nuclear compaction machine that we use, which you see a lot of the testing companies now. They have to go through trainings and they have to wear little badges on their vests that they've been through the nuclear trainings with their nuke gauges that tells you the compaction of dirt, asphalt, base rock, all that good stuff. We have a Transtech compaction tester that's a non-nuclear.
It uses, I believe, electronic waves.
Electronic waves that you set the depth of however thick you're paving, and it'll read the compaction at a lot faster, where it'll take 15, 20, 25 seconds for a nuke gauge to give you a reading. It'll take about 3 to 4 seconds on our Transtech gauge.
And it's very, very accurate. We've lined them up side by side, and we're 0.1, 0.2 at the most difference between the two gauges. And what's cool about that machine,
and that's up and down. That's not always one direction.
Yeah, and what's cool about the machine too, every test that we take, it gives us a GPS mark of where exactly we took our test. It prints out a great report that we can, provide and give the city, county, private project. We can give them this report to give them the confidence that, that we have explained to them, actually give them something that shows that we're confident in our work. We're hitting our numbers, and it's all part of the new technology.
I think we've talked about this many times, but I mean, compaction on your asphalt is really the most important thing, right? Making sure your asphalt's compacted. I mean, you can just dump asphalt in the ground and roll over it a couple times. That doesn't mean it's compacted, and that's what's going to lead to it failing faster, right? You have correct compaction while an asphalt has been properly placed, and then it's properly maintained. I mean, it's really gonna last as long as you keep it maintained, and it'll last. You won't have all these problems that you have in these failing parking lots, these large sections of alligatoring. That can all be prevented. And a lot of times that has to do with the subgrade and then the compaction of your actual material on top.
Make sure the water drains.
Yes.
Big thing. Water drains.
And then once we get done with the project, we come back to the office and we use these pointer fingers to type into something that's called a computer to generate an invoice.
When did these come
When he
out?
said we,
And
he means
you actually email
He
it.
means
It's really cool. You don't have to use stamps or anything. It's the new technology
I don't get
that I'm
it.
learning.
Yeah. Austin still uses stamps.
He's our CTO apprentice.
If
Is
you're
that chief
expecting
technology
anything coming,
officer?
it'll come in via fax.
Tech guy. The tech guy. He's a construction czar and the tech guy.
Yeah, I do a lot of helping in here with that.
If you want to contact us quickly, we recommend using
Morse code.
yes
Morse code.
over telegraph.
Yes, telegraph would be my favorite.
Messenger pigeon works really well. We keep a window open at all hours.
That's my favorite.
There is a lot of other technologies. I think on asphalt, that's kind of what this podcast is about was the asphalt technology. I think that's a good rundown of it. There's also other ones which were kind of got mentioned, but like concrete curb gutter machines, curb gutter sidewalk machines are basically machines that will run. And you set up some pins with some strings, and these machines. I should have lost time about this.
You used to have to set up pins and strings.
Oh, there's no
Now
strings
they run
anymore?
on GPS.
Yep.
So it's just a machine that you just basically put the concrete in, and it'll put down curb gutter, and if the machine's big enough, it can pour a sidewalk at the same time, and it'll build it all at once. And that machine will just run that. It does it by itself, no strings. That's crazy.
Oh,
No strings attached.
Yeah.
Elevations and
I think
everything.
every once in a while you have to set an elevation pin.
That's pretty crazy. And it'll pour it all by itself, and then you just have finishers that come along and finish behind it. So, I mean, although I think everyone's afraid that AI will take over the world and we won't need people anymore to work.
You have to still operate the machine with a couple guys.
That's
So
what I
it's
was gonna
not
say.
going- it's not.
And those machines still
Yeah.
need finishers. The rollers still need operators. I think this technology, instead of being AI where it's like eliminating jobs, it's just making people's jobs easier. So we don't need people as highly skilled or trained, maybe.
Yeah, well, it gives us better products in the
Yeah,
end as
producing
well.
a better quality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. Any other technology I didn't bring up that we want to talk about?
We can get into calculators.
Those do the math for you.
Yes.
Yes.
But you still have to chicken peck the buttons.
Chicken peck. I like that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on episode 35 of the role of technology in commercial paving. We look forward to seeing you guys again. Check us out on
Facebook.
Instagram and LinkedIn, and our website at bm-builders.com.
Thank you. Come again.
You've been listening to the Paving the Way podcast. Our passion is to connect commercial general contractors, public sectors, commercial property managers, and small business owners. We welcome you to the family. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. Make sure to find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at B&M Builders, and learn even more online by visiting bm-builders.com. Thanks again for listening, and see you next time on the Paving the Way podcast.